If you don't know what to do, speak to a sports lawyer. Or if you have people in a game, don't think going through football that I need an agent, I must have an agent, no, you don't. Your job, just focus on playing football. For young players, yes, you need agents. No, don't be too reliant on them. You are the product. So my advice to young people is just, with agents, they're needed. You need an agent. There are stages as to when you need an agent as a young footballer. So for me, for example, I have lots of friends in the football industry. At the top level, I know lots of people who have gone into their licensed agents, FIFA agents, and they're doing really, really well. They're managing some of the top players currently. So even for me, with you, obviously it's unfortunate you're not fit, so we haven't really had any real big conversations with Reading or anything like that. But if we were to, there are a few agencies or a few personal friends of mine who are, as I said, they're with top agencies in the game that I can call on for advice. But with my business hat on, not that I can do it myself or anything, but if I didn't know anything, all I'd do is I'd get a sports lawyer to look through any contracts, or I think I'd be confident enough in making negotiations on your behalf. But I wouldn't be that naive. I would obviously get some information, some advice from lawyers and some top agents in the game. But it depends. It depends what your situation is. For me personally, obviously I didn't play at the top level, but my experience with agents, my agent, the group I was with, SEM Group, with Jerome Anderson, his son Miles Anderson, he was sort of managing me at the time when I was young. I was getting free boots, which was great, and we were constantly, we were always talking, and it was more of it was a close relationship. I felt like he was, and he still is. He's a very good friend of mine, Miles, and at the time they had a lot of top players on their books, but it was just down to me being unlucky with securing a big contract and just being released by Reading. But I think had I have gone to that next level, obviously if you're good enough, you market yourself. If you're good enough and you're getting sponsorships coming in, you're getting clubs ringing you up and everything, as I said, if you don't know what to do, speak to a sports lawyer. Or if you have people in a game, don't think going through football that I need an agent, I must have an agent, no, you don't. Your job, just focus on playing football and being the best football player in your position in the world. That's the only advice, that's the advice I'd give to any young footballer. I know it's easy for a lot of young players to think, I'm with this agency, they're the best agency in football, but I'm sorry, if you're not performing, they can't get you moves. If you're not performing on the pitch, having that top agent on your corner means absolutely sod all. You've got to put the performance in, you've got to put the shift in on the pitch. So for young players, yes, you need agents. No, don't be too reliant on them. You are the product. Your performance is what's going to bring the big contracts and all the sponsorships, and is going to get you to that next level. So you've just got to focus on putting that performances in first. Everything else is secondary. It'll all fall in place. But if you're ever unsure, just get yourself a good solicitor, get yourself a good lawyer to read through contracts. But I mean, with football players, when they get to sort of academy levels, under 18s, under 21s, they'll always have agents that will be tapping them up and stuff like that, will be phoning them. But make sure that always you do your due diligence and you sort of ask around or do your research. I know it's difficult. Obviously, with my mature head now, it's easy for me to say these things. When I was 18, when I was younger, I didn't have the knowledge. So my advice to young people is just focus on being the best player in your position. Everything else is secondary. Everything else will fall in place. So that's all. But you need them. You don't need them. You need them. You don't need them. You need them. So that's all.